Okay, we're good. Thank you
Good.
for that suggestion. That is going to be important, I think.
Okay, I just wanted to be sure because I'm making notes and I didn't know which way you needed it for your business or anything like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you
Okay.
can jot a few things down, especially if they, pertain to, what you're going to be doing and stuff too, if you
Right.
want. But
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, move. Yeah, sorry to interrupt. I just didn't know because I figured.
Interrupt whenever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whenever.
Raise your hand.
Yeah, you can
I go to the bathroom.
yeah, can I go to the bathroom? You know what? On reactions, you see reactions on the bottom. You can actually raise your hand in a little watch.
Okay, no, I'm
Here you
fine.
go. Look, do you see? There's Karen.
Yeah.
And I've
Okay.
got my
Oh,
hand up.
Karen.
I can get the emojis, but I sure as heck can't get my camera to work here. So I don't know.
No worries. No worries.
No worries. Okay.
And we can still hear you, and you'll be able
Okay.
to see everything. So
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just keep fiddling with it, but I want to make sure I'm paying attention as we begin. So you may just have to look at my name if that's okay. And
yeah.
I'll email you all a picture of my face later so that
You aren't able to see us either?
I am able to see all of your lovely faces.
Oh,
I'm in settings and I don't know if I'm not seeing something.
If it's not a Zoom setting, Karen, it's a computer setting.
Yeah, and it's definitely a computer setting is what I'm gathering. So I apologize, but it's okay with you guys.
We're gonna work on getting Karen a computer when the new Macs come out. So for now, she's borrowing a computer that's probably not, I'm guessing, the best, but yeah, we're gonna work on getting her a new computer, which will be great.
Well, I had one until I decided to not school teach anymore. So
you had to return it.
Yeah.
Well, good. Okay, so if it's okay with everybody, I'll just kind of jump into, we have an agenda and it looks short, but it's going to take, I think, a while in particular for number 2. And so if we can go ahead and get started, what I'm going to do is share my screen. And I just want to say to everybody, this is like fun for me compared to the other work that I've been doing lately. So I'm really excited right now. So this is, and I sent this a couple months ago to everybody. I really think the 4 of us are going to be a really cohesive team. I'm excited about that. Linda and I and Auntie Diane too have been talking about how it's really hard to just have like a really good cohesive team. And so talking with Karen and kind of knowing her background and her strengths, I think it's kind of like the missing piece to the puzzle that we really need. And so I'll just kind of go over the job description and where we're at. And this is not set in stone by any means. We can make whatever revisions any of us see may be important to do. So just stop me at any time and we can revise and update as needed. So basically the role for Karen's position is to assist authors with varying tasks for nursing titles. Oh, Linda, did you have your hand up?
I did.
Okay, go ahead, Linda.
I know when you ignored it, you didn't even see it. It's been up for a long time.
Oh no, I apologize.
I wanted to know how Max is.
Oh, thank you. He's doing fairly okay. He's been having just these kind of weird symptoms. I haven't looked at my email, by the way. So I think you asked about that and I haven't even opened it. So sorry about that. But yeah, so nausea, vomiting. Well, vomiting. I don't know if he's nauseous, but vomiting. His eyes are like puffy with some drainage, but not like a ton. And then he's just been not himself. But then like you give him ibuprofen, Tylenol, and then he's like back to himself and he's happy and playing and wants to go to the pool and wants to go to gymnastics. And so he's doing okay. We're going to watch it just to make sure. I am doing the erythromycin in his eyes.
Yeah.
And
Do you
yeah,
think it's the pool water?
I thought that's what I was wondering about, but the drainage, and it was very small, started the day before he went to the pool.
Oh,
And he did come back with more bloodshot eyes after the pool, and so I don't think that's it. I don't think it's helping, but
any fevers?
that was the other thing, kind of intermittently, like he'll spike
Oh,
a fever
geez.
here and there. Yeah, I don't know, something weird, but
COVID? Does he have COVID, do you think?
tested him and he's testing negative.
Oh, good, good.
He's testing negative. So I don't think so. And Brent, just to be on the safe side, is testing too, because he's like a little off. But I think it's sinus related is what I'm kind of thinking.
That's what I
Yeah.
had all week. Sinus, you can still hear it.
But
Yeah.
you were positive for COVID though.
Yeah, yeah, but that led to it too, you know?
Right. It could cause the secondary sinus
Yeah.
infection. So don't let that go too long. Maybe you need some antibiotics.
Well, can he get a shot? No, no shot yet.
For COVID,
Yeah,
he can. I think I want to do it. Brent is,
Yeah.
Brent's like a little on the fence about it, but
Yeah.
I think we should do
Yeah.
it, and we probably will do it. But anyway, thank you for asking. He's doing better.
Yeah, I was worried about, you're gonna still go to Hawaii?
As of now, yes, I'm hoping he's better by then.
Yeah, okay, good, okay.
Better to get it over with now, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So anyway.
Okay, I was worried about him.
Yeah, how are you guys doing with you're doing better, it seems like, because you're here.
I'm still, I'm,
I'm
Diane's negative and Larry, her Larry is positive still.
Mhm.
I'm still positive and just tiredness and hoarseness.
Yeah,
at
that's
times.
what I got, same thing.
And my Larry is negative.
Negative.
But he's not hearing the end of it. I harass him every day for bringing it into the household up there in Massachusetts and making everybody get it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I know. Well, I think a lot of people try to chalk it up to like sinus issues, and they're like, oh no, it's not COVID. It's just, it feels like allergies.
That's what he said.
Everyone's walking around with it. So
I
what
know.
are you gonna do?
It's inevitable, you know. I think the timing was unfortunate with like Larry's surgery and everything.
Terrible. Yes.
That was stressful. You guys must be happy that you're kind of moving on from that now, but in the moment that was stressful.
Doing okay now. He's doing pretty good. So
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. That's
yeah,
really-
doing good. Yeah.
Sorry about the interruption.
no,
Oh,
that we should have actually talked about that first. Sorry, I didn't do that.
okay.
I'm just like in work mode, I guess.
Yeah.
So, okay. So then just to kind of get back to this, so developing timelines and workflow for each title. She has kind of dipped her toes in the sand with that a little bit, but I think that as we go over each title and like over time, this is going to be something that Karen is able to pick up on even more as she becomes familiar. But really what I'm thinking about with this is like, Linda, you remember like RN Comp 9th edition as an example where, you know, we solicited our contributors, we, you know, had the training meeting with them, we established deadlines, we tell everybody when we want, you know, certain things to be done. That just sucks our time. So I'm thinking with this, you know, over time, that's something Karen could, you know, do for us, or, you know, take a pass at it, sends it to us, and we say, oh, can you change this or this? And then, yeah. So anything on that you guys want to discuss?
No, and then, as a guide to all of that would be the Elsevier timelines and working backward as to when things need to get in. So,
Right.
using that as a guideline will be
Exactly.
helpful.
Yeah, because
for
Karen,
developing this.
what they tell us is like, basically, here's the publication date for the book. And then from there, we have to say to them, like what our kind of deadlines, deliverables will be along the way up until that publication.
And like a lot of times they'll tell us when they need like certain chapters. Like I think Karen has EMSS, right?
She's been using mine to get in. She doesn't have
Okay.
one.
So we need to get her that too. And they all set up like deadlines in EMSS for us. But then there's the whole workflow of who's doing what. So
Mhm.
our deadline is July 1st. We need people in the workflow ahead of us to
Right,
get things in before then. So that's what people would need to know.
exactly.
It's been really hard. We're always in this crunch.
Yes.
Like this whole Q&A thing, I realized this morning, is due July 1st. Well, that
Well,
isn't
and
gonna happen.
I don't think we agreed to that. I'm not sure where that came from, to be honest. Like, we would have built that into our workflow. Anyways, so Karen, you can see, this is, like I said, the missing piece, because there are times like right now with Canada NGN cases and now RN Q&A where we're like, oh my gosh, we didn't even realize, like we missed
Yeah.
that, you know?
Yeah, and then the online review, getting all that uploaded in. I've been working on that for us, but we'll talk about that with number 2. But yeah, it's just, there hasn't been a breather.
Right.
Fortunately, Eileen and Allie went through all of those files and updated them with the RN comp, but this was before we had to do some changes with wording.
Mhm.
And so Diane went in and did all of that. So now I'm just going through and uploading files.
Oh, good. So it's not too much of a lift, it sounds like, for you.
It goes fast.
Okay, that's
Yeah, it's going fast for me. So we can touch base on that when you get back
okay.
as to where we are with it. But yeah,
And then, so then that kind of brings it to the next: assign tasks to internal teams and assist with schedule management. Pretty much, I guess the same thing, but something I think that we could definitely benefit from.
Mhm.
And then developing and managing resources necessary for authorship. So my thoughts here were to, and again, this is not, Karen, let us know if you're getting, overwhelmed with any of this, but this isn't like a daily thing. It's like as it comes up, it needs to be done. So each of these things, like you shouldn't spend a lot of time doing each of these things like on a regular basis.
Kind of blends in together as you work,
Right. Right.
you know?
Exactly. So like the one that the two of you just worked on, which is the RN comp beta review, those guidelines, like those are things that I think that Karen could work with us to help us with.
yeah.
Karen, what are your thoughts so far?
I'm just taking some notes.
Okay.
I really feel like once I become a little bit more familiar with some of the terminology, for example, you just said the RN beta comp.
Mhm.
So I guess, like where I got to fill in the blanks is what's the difference between RN comp and RN beta comp?
Right. So that, if once we get through this, I think that really is going to go with our second item.
Okay.
Where we're going to just go through each title, and then Linda, maybe you can, because you're going to be good at this better than I am, can talk about the various stages for each, because the beta refers to a stage for the RN comp. So I think that will be helpful, and then we'll have it all in this recording and you can go back and re-listen to be like, okay, or you can just ask us too. So, okay. And
Okay. Yeah.
thank you. And then, so assisting with scheduling meetings and work time for authors. I just want to say that for me, Karen has been like, so for example, Linda with the NGN Canada cases.
Yeah, Diane, I'll just interrupt for a moment. Diane, Angela and I are working with the Canada people, just so you know. So when Angie brings up Canada NGN cases, the NGN is the next generation NCLEX, and they're all, single and unfolding cases that we've been writing. Canada people have written them, and Angela and I are reviewing them all because we're the experts at that. And so when she mentions that, that's another task Angie and I have that we're working on too. Okay, just so
But
you
that
know.
was only for, yeah, the RNs, right? We didn't have anything to say in that area, right?
Oh, for us, you mean you?
Yeah, it was the RN stuff you were reviewing.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that because Angela and I, until we can find another expert in these NGN cases to help us,
Right.
you don't have to worry about that. But just so you know what that is when she's
Okay.
talking about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's probably helpful for Karen too. Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
So anyways, with those, she has, knowing it's kind of like an unexpected sort of thing that came up, has scheduled like work times for me to get that done, outside of all of my other responsibilities. And so that's just one example of many times that she has started to do this for me. And it is a game changer. And I just feel like I have so much more control over just my schedule and my life. So it's been great. And I think she's really good at it. She's going to know more about my life than she wants to, but so
I plan on using that at a later time for something else, I'm sure.
Okay. We
probably
can
so.
do a sitcom maybe.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right. That's true.
something else to publish. Yep.
Yes.
Always. And then communicate with other team members regarding steps in the publishing process. That's probably a little bit duplicative, but kind of just what I'm seeing is that eventually, probably over, I'm going to say a couple of years is what I would think, that Karen could, and even Diane too, be the ones to kind of like be the facilitators of just moving it forward, getting it done, and then like freeing Linda and I up to basically for us to be told, here's what you need to focus on, here's your priorities to meet the deadlines, use your brains and your expertise on the content, and let the logistics be left to us. And then what else? Office computer supplies, overseeing project deliverables from reviewers, contributors, other team members. So that's something that we can talk about when we go title by title, but these are basically, steps in the publishing process. When we're waiting on, let's say, a contributor to turn something in and they're late on it, I would see maybe at some point in the future, Karen being like, hey, where are you at with this? Can you let us know?
I have an issue, well, not an issue, but ordering office computer supplies.
Yeah.
Now, I always tell them what I need because it's their company, not mine. And maybe they'll feel they have something better I could use, or maybe they just don't want to go forward with the cost of that. So maybe, is it something instead of just ordering that we need to run by you? You know what I'm saying?
You mean when you need something?
Yeah, like if I need, like with the computer, that I had no idea of all the different things that I could possibly do, and I was trying to do it myself. This way here, if you run it across, I ran it across Larry or Linda, and then they showed me which was the easiest way to do it, which would save their company or your company a lot more money than me going out trying to figure all this stuff out. I'm not talking about pencils and pens and things like that. I'm talking about, different things you might need on, your computer and stuff.
Right.
What happened, Angie, was Diane had Windows 11 on her computer, and it was really hard for her to work with because it's different than 10. And she was very used to 10. And so she was going to hire somebody to come in and help her with it and blah, blah, blah. But when we were there, we worked with her on 11 and it was difficult.
Mhm.
So we ended up just going back to Best Buy where we had an account and free service and had them take 11 off and put 10 on.
Oh,
And then once they did that, while I was there, I got her computer all set up with the shortcuts and getting into things
nice.
and all that sort of stuff. So that's, I think what
Yeah.
Diane was talking about. But if you need if you or Karen need some paper or you need,
Oh, yeah,
you
no,
need to let us know,
yeah,
because if it's for the business and for the projects and the work, we don't
Right.
want you to be paying for that
Correct.
stuff.
Right.
You need to let us know. Yeah.
but
And
I'm out here and you're out there, and the guy wanted $50 an hour just to come into my house.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna, it was getting out of hand. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying about, I'm not saying markers and things like that. I'm just saying
Oh, but even those though,
a big picture, and it's deductible for you guys on the, when you buy those things, if you keep track, maybe.
Yeah, just keep all the receipts, whatever
Right.
you need. And I mean, if it's something big, just run it by Angie or me and we can,
Right, right.
let you know, because we have resources too and
Right.
ways to get things through the company,
Right.
through Elsevier.
They got it all done free for me, and I didn't,
yeah, I would say anything that is in the typical like routine day
yeah,
as a matter of like the business, as you say, like if you are having an issue, I say definitely bring it up to the four of us and then
right,
we can troubleshoot together. And then if that is still not working,
Right.
we can look at other solutions and what could be, a business expense and so forth. But
Right.
generally, Linda, I think that for what they need to do their jobs, I think we could probably find a way to not that have to be an expense that they're paying for.
Absolutely. So,
No,
yeah,
saying paying for it. I mean, I know it's just something like, I know we need markers and mine run out. So I just say to Linda, I got some markers. Okay. I'm talking the big picture, not
I get what you're saying. You're talking about like just like the way that we do things technology wise too, I think is
like for me, I needed someone to come and help me because you're way out there, but I have to run it by them first. So I'm saying
well, and we don't have like an IT person on our team. I know Karen's like proficient with certain things and I am with certain things, but there is like remote technology. Like right now, for example, Auntie Diane on Zoom, you could share your screen with me and we could try to click around together and like figure.
yes, I'm not into all that. I mean,
Right. And that's okay because that's not what you're on this team for, is to be a technology person, right?
but what I'm saying, maybe if you do get a way out and a tech person, then we would all get together like this, and then we could all learn at the same way. But what I'm just
Yes, I
saying,
agree. I think that would be
just
a positive addition to
Yeah.
think about. Yeah.
just the little new things, and then I'm paying $50 to even my Gina had to pay nice. She calls the company, but I'm saying they're killing you out there. They're so smart, they know everything, but
Yeah.
you know what I'm
I
saying.
definitely
That's
think
all.
about. I think it would improve like our efficiency and our processes.
Yeah,
Karen, I know that. So we do have it on our agenda too, to talk about Google Drive. And so that might be something to look at together, which we'll look at together a little later, but maybe this would address some of those issues too.
okay.
Karen, do you think so?
Yeah, I was going to interject in that, Diane, I completely understand. Technology is a beast and it is
Right.
ever changing and nearly impossible to keep up with. I've learned myself. So, I think as far as what Angie is saying, those $50 to get that tech person in there is right now for all of us as we're working out the kinks is going to be worth it. And I'm fairly confident both Angie and Linda will pay for the updated tech person. Don't, you know, I'm learning, but don't ever feel afraid to
Well,
use what works for you, even if that means you're not necessarily staying up with the most latest and greatest apps or programs.
well, when they went to pick up my computer at Best Buy, they got a card from the guy. He comes to your house free if you're contracted with Best Buy.
Mhm.
So maybe not now, but maybe in the future, something like that, we could do like a meeting maybe every couple of months with this tech guy or something that keeps us up to date on things. And if you're contracted with Best Buy, it's free. So,
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
Call them, and the guy gave us a card, said he would come right out to the house. So, but you know, and it's free as long as you're contracted. So maybe something like that would help everyone.
Yeah, I think if we document what our issues are and what we need to learn, and
Right.
then, you know, maybe set a time for him to come to your house and we all get on and listen.
Or
Yeah.
your house or whatever, and we could listen in and get, you know, a little more, you know, tech savvy maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think as needs arise, we can do that, definitely.
Right.
Well, and I think, you know, a big part of what we're talking about is to establish just a really good process so that we're most efficient with our work. And
Right.
you know, technology is an inevitable part of that, and none of us here are experts in that. So
Right.
I think it's a great suggestion. I'm trying to think where I put that other than this recording so that we can remember.
And back to your question, Angie, I do believe Google Drive
Yeah.
is the way I have it set up and the way I understand it. Granted, I don't understand everything about it, but it is very easy for all of us to be able to collaborate and
Okay.
to share even the most simplest doc where I can go in and see what changes you have made. You can go in and see what changes Diane has made. And for the most part, they're pretty simple. So I don't know how familiar Linda and Diane are with Google, but at least in the education world in Elko, Nevada, it was a game changer and being able to collaborate and to share and to have the most updated information in regards to your projects and your work.
Right.
Yeah.
A good point.
No, I definitely need to learn about that, and Diane does too, I think.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
I do have it on and I think we do just a brief, like I was going to ask Karen to show what all she has set up so far in the Google Drive.
Yep.
And then we were thinking about doing kind of a follow-up sort of training session.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, great. So once we get to that, I'll have Karen show that, and you're going to be very excited. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and while I was at Diane's house, we were stuck in the house because of COVID. So we got a lot done, really. And
I bet. Yeah.
and nobody could come visit us or anything. So that even made it better.
Yeah. Yeah.
I set her up with a Gmail account. So
Wonderful.
Yeah.
we got that set. So
yeah, and we can troubleshoot your Gmail account too, really at any
Yeah.
time. It's probably going to be easier to do that like in real time, like in a meeting like this or over the phone, just because you have to just kind of look at an email for a reset and stuff like that. So
I was thinking that maybe I'd try to just set up a brand new account and do like you did. You have nurse prep. I'll just do nursing reviews. And maybe just set it up that way. And that way 2 people can't look me up and find me.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, so I'll give that a try. If I have a problem, I'll let you know, and Karen can probably help me set it up.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
great. But Diane's all set with an account, so she can share that with us to her email.
Yeah. We can. Yeah.
Perfect. And then we'll get you guys added to the drive so that you'll have the ability to see everything in there too.
Oh, that's good. Yeah,
And then it integrates with the calendars too. So it's very, very helpful. And then I think, so this part, using tools to monitor working hours for authors, I would say this is a nice to have, not a need to have. But I just thought, over time, eventually Karen could just kind of look back like at our year and see like how much work are we spending? How could we make this more efficient? Who could we pull in to help? Like, I guess taking kind of a proactive approach on how it went with this title, let's say, what went well, what didn't go well, how can we next time around make this better for us? Linda, you and I talk about this all the time. Like, we want to get to a point where this is doable, and the products are such quality now that that's how it really should be. So we haven't been able to put our finger on the exact answers to this. And so again, I think something just to think about over time as Karen's getting more familiar.
Yeah, we really want to get to the point where all the tasky kind of things that Angela and I are involved with now that we know you guys and other people can do for us, that's just going to take so much off our plates so we can focus more on the content expert kinds of things we need to do. So we're trying to move towards that. And
it's going to
that's
take
our
time.
goal. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's perfectly okay, but we're definitely moving in that direction. So
Oh, can I ask a question on that?
mhm.
Like, say, for example, when we do the beta, would you do like a time schedule of who was doing it, how long the time limit on you, and start from one point, then match it to and then the next project to another point, and then when you knew your beta was coming up, you would have that time schedule to say, this is what I need way ahead of time, and get the people that you're going to do in order. So you'd have something to match it to.
This
So
is what we
maybe
need. Yep.
something like that. Start with the beta or any project and say, this is my time limit for us, for you guys and the company. How long did it take us to do it? How many people do we need? How many questions do we have? And then you can match it to the next beta so you won't be behind.
Yes.
I mean, is that what you mean? Something like that?
Yes. Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that'll take some time to develop.
Oh, yeah. But I think it's a good idea.
I think it's an excellent idea. And I think we kind of started that with this beta coming up. I mean, I know I'm like, after seeing the beta that Angela and I have been working on with the book that's coming out in August, the NGN book. That's why you guys aren't involved in that, because it's just the NGN. What a mess it was and how much time we're putting in. It's been a huge time sucker for us, but planning ahead really will help. That's why
you can't plan ahead unless you have something to match it previously to.
So like a debrief, like debriefing it, like we could meet together and say what went well, what didn't go well.
Right. And how many people you need, how many questions. Well, I'm going to need 6 people to get this through in this time.
Yes.
And make sure you can count on those people to get it in and get it done.
Exactly.
And do it the right way, So.
And I think that document that you worked on and that I looked at and we sent out to Karen and Angie, that's the kind of thing that, one of the things, like I said, I'm nervous about this beta coming because the one we've just done was horrible. But that's why I wanted to get going on that. And that's something that Karen will learn through this first time. She can store all that information. And when the next one comes up, she's going to know exactly what to do and what the needs are and start planning ahead. That's an excellent suggestion, Diane.
Yeah, well, Karen sounds like she's great at that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
With the really good tech person. So,
and I think when she gets through each product one time, she is going to know exactly what to do.
She'll be able to tell us,
Yeah, and I see your hand, Karen, but I want to say one thing and then you can go, is that I think has a little anxiety because, you know, this is like just all new,
One.
but I like the anxiety because it means that she cares, right? So,
Yeah, and
but
you don't
I-
have to worry, Karen. We're all here
Right.
as a team.
Yes.
I'm gonna lose you guys. It says I'm not gonna have internet much longer. So I don't know why, but
What? Oh no, that's not
Well,
good.
just go out and come. We lose you, just go out and try to get back in again. Maybe they're working on something. Okay, we'll keep moving then.
Karen, go ahead, Karen.
I just need to know, I apologize, when we're talking timelines, is it a calendar year or a fiscal year, or, you know, Linda said that I believe one of the deadlines for one of the books is September. RN Comp publishes in September.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I didn't mention that, I'm just looking at my notes, but so in general, because I'm kind of a planner, I like to forecast here, kind of like Diane was mentioning, but so when we're looking at a book, is it always going to be the same? So I'm just going to throw this out for an example. RN Comp begins in January and always publishes in September, or is this
Mhm.
is that a calendar year, or are we talking something different in regards to books, each book and publication dates and so
And
forth?
their cycles.
Yes.
Well, we're on 3-year cycles with just about everything.
Okay.
And I think when we get to number 2 and talk about each project individually, that might help you, Karen,
Okay.
answer all those questions, but it's not always the same.
Okay.
They try, the comp book is like the most important product we have. It's our huge seller. That one always has to be perfect. And that one tends to always publish September, October. Because we like to try to get it out there for the new student group that comes in September.
Okay.
But basically, they're all different.
Okay.
They're all different. Yeah.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. So then the only thing I think I want to highlight in requirements and skills, because this is all pretty self-explanatory, is ability to prepare schedules and step-by-step action plans. So this, again, I think is something that we can really benefit from. You know, Linda, it's just kind of given to us, like, here's what you got to do, you know, today, this week. And Karen's been doing this for me, taking into consideration like my UNLV work that I'm doing, and she'll do, okay, Monday, this is what you're doing each hour, Tuesday, each hour. And then she does like a looking ahead and like, don't forget you've got this coming up. And so I think that all around, like, it would be very helpful. And I'll just say too, very quickly, I think that her role could become more than 20 hours a week. And so I told her that just to make sure that she keeps it to that. And then if she wants to work more and we agree that we need her to work more, then we can always reevaluate later.
Absolutely.
So that's that part. And then here's kind of our training work initiation timeline. So you can see we're doing really well. So May 2022, try as much as possible to become familiar with titles, you know, deadlines and calendars. So she's kind of perused the books that we sent to her.
Oh, good.
And she has become somewhat familiar with deadlines, calendars, has asked really good questions about, you know, what is this book about? What's this book about? So she has, I would say, just a superficial understanding of just kind of all of the products that we have. And then, so for June, so training meeting, here we are, and developing Drive repository, she has begun that, and she's going to go over that with us. So that brings us to July, and maybe this is a good time to start to talk about products going into our second item.
Okay.
And Linda, if you want to take the lead on that, and I can update this timeline as we're talking about it, I think would be,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so do you want me to talk about all of the products one by one?
Yeah,
Probably.
why don't we go one by one? And as we're going one by one, if you see anything that fits into July, let me know, and or any of the months, because this goes through, I mean, through 2023. And I tried to, when I developed this, I was looking at our calendars and just, seeing where we needed to be with a number of the products so I'll just do my best to update this as we're going title by title.
Yeah, and let's see. Maybe you can, pull up EMSS or let me see, what else might we need?
How about
As Okay, why don't I start with the products and we'll go from there. And maybe Karen needs to know where we are with each one at this point in time, so she'll know where
Yes,
we're moving towards. I think that will really help her.
yes, I agree.
So, yeah, when I first put a proposal in for, I call it the Empire here, back in 96, 95, I had this idea of a pyramid to success. So the student would start at one level and work upwards and get to that top of the pyramid and be ready to get that RN or LPN, whatever it was. So, and I'll tell you about the other products that ended up coming in as a result of this. So the very first book that we'll talk about is the RN Comp Review book. And as I said, that's our biggest baby. The RN Comp book, and you're familiar with it because you have a copy, so you've probably perused through it. My idea was this book needs to be something the student can use while they're in nursing school and at the same time prepare for the NCLEX. So that's why that book has lots of chapters, lots of content that is really abbreviated from textbooks. So it kind of weeds through all the crap that's in the textbooks and gives them what they need to know, and lots of practice questions. So that, and Angie, jump in at any time. At this point in time, back then it was a little bit different with CDs and all that kind of crap that we don't use any longer. But it also has a site, every book does, called the Evolve site, where students can go on this site when they purchase the book, and they'll get thousands of practice questions that they can pull up and generate by various different topics and titles and, skills and whatever, which you'll see if you go into an Evolve site. Where we are with that book is the 9th edition. We have already gone through Diane and our niece helped her for a short period of time. Diane went through all the chapters, updated all the references. It went through contributors. So they did all of their updates. And then it came to Angie and myself, and we looked at everybody's work and then submitted to the company. Now, that book is getting ready to publish. So you don't really need to be concerned about any timelines for the actual book for the RN Comp until, which it won't be long, Angie, we'll be getting a contract for the 10th edition. I think when we get that contract for the 10th edition, we can give the due dates to Karen and maybe even to Diane, so they know what the due dates of the product's going to be. And where we are with that comp review book is the beta. The beta is next. The beta is the final thing we're going to be doing. What that beta is a site that we will go on. It's an Evolve site that's going to be accompanying the book. And the company has taken all the questions from the book and all the additional questions, and I think there's about 5,800 of them, 5,900, and they've put them on this Evolve site for students. So again, students purchase the book, they can go on the Evolve site and access all these questions. The beta review is that we get on this link that they send us and we check everything. in that beta review to make sure it's all okay before it goes out for publication. That's what's going to happen in July. We're told that's coming to us in July. It will be a pretty fast turnaround, although we've asked for more time. And if they give us a 2-week time period, I am going to ask for more time, Angie, so we can have a little more time on that. But here is the Evolve site for students. So they go into this Evolve site and they can pick any kinds of things they want. They can pick a study mode. And I don't think you really need to be concerned about what the modes do at this point, but this is what we're going to be reviewing. So if you go into client needs, Angie, and then click select all, you'll see that there's 6,037 questions in this beta for the current RN comp. And we have to go in and we look at all of these questions for functionality. All of the items that we look for are on that list of checklist that the document we sent to you for the beta review. So that is going to be our project in July. And that's why we need a lot of people, because it's hard to get through 6,000 questions in a short period of time.
Linda, a quick thought I have was
Yeah.
maybe we go through, because this, Karen, is going to be the project that you get to know first, right, Linda? Would you agree?
Yes.
And so what if we, and I want to say, like, you're going to be able to focus for the most part on one project at a time, and it should not take you, more than 10 hours a week on this work. And so maybe it would be helpful to, with this up, again, this is the current edition, but it looks like what the beta is going to look like for the upcoming edition. Maybe we go through the directions.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Maybe pull up the directions one way or another. Karen, are you able to do that so you can follow along while I show you?
The directions.
Directions for RN comp that
Beta review.
the beta, yeah.
You probably just received those
Yep,
last night or yesterday.
Mhm. I was actually reading through a little bit of it, hence my apprehension in all.
Right.
Oh.
So I think though,
It
by
makes more, yeah,
visualizing, it's gonna ease that a little bit.
makes more sense.
Okay, go ahead, Angie. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No. Okay, so let's see. So we're gonna make the assignments. As Linda was saying, we're gonna have multiple people. We already kind of talked through who we're gonna have doing what. And they'll get like a range of questions, typically either 500 or 1,000 questions to review. And there's a report form that they'll fill out as they're going through their assigned questions, where they're documenting any problems that they find. And then we ask them to save it in a certain format. That's a great idea, whoever came up with that. And to email it to Diane. Then what Diane does with all of that feedback from each reviewer is compile all the notes in a chronological fashion, sends to us. And so in that report, there's a column for the question number, the question ID, which maybe is a good time now to show what that looks like. So here, Karen, where the cursor is, there's the question number.
Yes.
And then here's the ID.
Okay.
You would copy and paste the entire thing, even that 5.xm, yes, the whole thing. And you would paste that in your report. Yeah.
Okay.
But if you just go back to that home screen again, I'll
Mhm.
just explain. You'll see in the directions, you always select study mode. You always select client needs. Okay.
Okay.
You always make sure, let's see, we don't want new questions only. So you don't
this
want
will
to,
automatically be turned on usually. So you have to make sure to unclick it.
Yeah, I'll check the document, make sure that's clear in there. Because you don't want to get just the new questions every time you go back in, if you leave because you're done for the day and you go back in to do more questions tomorrow, if you don't, if you ask for new questions only, it's going to screw up your chronological order. You're not going to get the whole bag of questions like 1 to 500. You're only going to get the ones you haven't looked at yet. And so you don't want that. And then you click client needs, select all, and then you begin your session there.
And so then the way that we have the assignments is like, I don't know if we figured out this exactly, but like 1 to 1,000 will be, Katie, 1,001 to 2,000 will be, whoever. So as long as they're selecting it by this way, then we know that all of the questions are getting reviewed by somebody.
And if you're starting at question 501, up there where it has a 1, you can type in 501 and go, and it'll bring you to that question.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as far as reviewing, maybe we're going to get to this, Linda. I was going to show her like the rationale strategy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do that now. Okay. So if you're reviewing this question, you've read through this, you're selecting all that apply, you're hitting submit, gives you correct answers here, right? So this is one thing where sometimes there's errors. And so you want to make sure that there's a check next to 2, a check next to 4, a check next to 5.
Okay.
And it's incorrect because Angie picked 1, 2, and 3, but the correct answer is 2, 4, 5. So you can see where it says incorrect down there.
Okay.
And so you want to make sure that it's working right. Yeah.
Okay.
Then you go rationale, kind of just take a peek, like, not necessarily reading everything like for content or anything like that, just looking for just spacing issues, weird characters sometimes come up in here, things like that. Anything else, Linda, in the rationale that?
Yeah, the only other thing in the rationale and in the strategy is if option numbers are in the rationale or strategy, which we try to avoid, putting option numbers in, you just want to make sure that it doesn't say, option 2 is incorrect because actually option 2 is a correct answer. So that triggers that we have an error. So you just want to look for option numbers in those rationales and strategies.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense?
Yes, and then if you were to go to, it's on page 5 of the directions, it says checklist, the rationale in blue.
Correct.
So scroll over looking for any funky characters, as we said, and then Linda just said about the option numbers, and then the list of codes are here in the rationale. What this does is by coding questions in this way, it allows students to filter by any of these sort of like tags. So that's like the purpose of this. But what we want to look for in the beta review is that there's a code for everything. You don't have to like say, is this right or wrong? And then for which one is it? It's not going to be in this one because it's new for this edition, but the clinical judgment cognitive skill will also be there. And there should only be one of those.
You have to make sure that the part here matches what the question is saying. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like the health problem, when you look at the question, I guess the health problem has been an issue sometimes. It says, and I think I put an example in the document for you. There was a question on neuro, but the health problem said endocrine. And
right.
So, yeah, so you just can kind of make sure that matches up.
Right. And it's the health problems not there all the time, right?
Right.
Now, I'm not sure, not every question, and I think that's in the document, so, but this will make sense when you read it. Not
Okay.
every question will have a health problem. Most of them do, but if the question doesn't have a diagnosis, then it probably isn't going to have a health problem
Okay.
in it. I'm not sure what the platform's going to be. We'll find out when we see it. In some of our products, if it doesn't have a health problem, they don't even have that code there.
Mhm.
In others, they'll just put health problem NA for non-applicable. So we'll see once it comes.
Are you
Once that,
accepting both or not?
pardon?
Are you accepting both ways or not?
You mean
You
the NA or the other?
Yeah. Are you
It'll de-
accepting NA or no health problem listed?
It'll depend on what the platform is and how the company sets it up.
Okay.
Yeah. That will,
But I think either way will be okay.
yeah, I do too. Yeah,
As long as it's consistent, I think, yeah.
yes.
Are you changing the wording like the nurse would, it says the nurse should, are you just changing it in the nurse would? Or are you changing it in the whole format?
Well, you know what, Diane? This beta, if Elsevier does what they're supposed to do, which they don't, they always send us a freaking mess. You have gone through every single one of these questions,
Right.
and they should really look beautiful from your point, from the work you did.
Perspective,
Yeah. So,
Well, I just want to make sure, because I thought I saw one in one of the things there when you.
this
went
is
by.
the current edition, so that might be why.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
okay. All right. Okay. Sorry. Just.
Oh,
no, that's a great question, because Diane, as you're thinking about these things, you might jot that down. We'll make a list of some things Karen needs to be alert to.
Right.
that
That's
you
yeah.
so naturally know. I think you had started a list for her. So keep making that list and we'll send that to her
Yeah.
before we start the beta. I think that would be real helpful to her.
Okay.
Thanks for bringing that up.
And a lot of it's on that beta thingy guidelines that you did. Oh, she has a question. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm still listening. Go ahead. I can wait.
No,
No.
it's on that directions that you sent out. A lot of it's right on there. So.
Yeah, so that's my question. Let me lower my hand here.
lower your hand, damn it.
Right? I know what the heck I'm doing here. Where is
It
sorry.
is.
All right, so I want to just make sure that I'm understanding. So in that little box, there will always be client needs, clinical judgment, level of cognitive ability, content area, health problem. Not every question will have a health problem.
Correct.
Right.
Integrated process, priority concepts, there will be 2 listed, and then
Yes.
and then strategies, correct?
Correct.
And that will be for every one of those that we're reviewing.
Yes.
Correct.
And then under the clinical judgment, there should only be one, which would either be recognize according to the sheet, recognize cues, analyze,
Yes.
prioritize. Okay. All right.
You got it.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
and I'm wondering, Karen, once we start the beta, maybe one of us, Diane, Angela, or me, we can just get on with you and go through 4 or 5 questions with you. And then I think you'd be ready to go.
Yeah, I think that would be beneficial, and I makes no difference to me who it is. I do meet with Angie every Sunday. I don't know if she has time to do that, but
yeah, we can see, because it's always like a surprise when we get the email, beta's ready to go. You know, so we can see.
And we're like, oh crap.
Right, like where we're all at that time, and then we can go from there.
But
Yeah.
if it has to go back to them, they extend our timeline, right? Say we look at it and say we're not accepting this.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Well, as we usually, and Angela, I know you got a lot of UNLV stuff too going on. When we get the beta, I'll look at like maybe the first 10, 20 questions for us. And I usually can pick up some global issues.
Mhm.
And I will let the company know immediately. And
Okay.
they'll fix things as we're going along if we send stuff into them. because sometimes we have these global issues, like reference is missing in every single question.
Yeah.
And then they'll go and they'll click a button and they'll all magically appear. So, those kinds of global things. So I can go through like maybe the first 10, 20 questions and see if there's any issues, Angela.
I
And
think
then I
that
can-
would be great. And then, we don't want it to go too long, and we tell everybody that's reviewing their sets of questions, like if you're seeing something recurring, even if it's like 3-4 times you're noticing the same thing, it probably is a global problem where we can let them know, they fix it in real time, and then the next time you log in, it's not an issue anymore. And so then you don't have to waste your time documenting over and over and over the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All right. And so that then brings us to the strategy. So that's this tab right here. And so you can see in the directions, what we need to be looking for is that there's a statement that provides a strategy to answer the question. And the specific strategy that we're recommending is in this blue color. This one happens to be focus on the subject of the question. But here's the list. These directions are amazing, by the way. But here's the list of the strategies that you might come across that should be in blue. And so if you see, for example, comparable or alike is written in the strategy, but it's not bold and blue, then that would be something to put on the report sheet. And then
So I'm gonna have to become pretty familiar with the strategic words for both the question and
yes.
the strategy.
Yeah, you bring up an excellent point. Let me find a question that illustrates this. Here we go. So the strategic words are the words that belong in the stem of the question, which is the actual question. So every question, so this is the scenario, right?
Okay.
And then here is the stem
Okay.
question. Some questions have strategic words which are bolded. This is what the NCLEX does, so we mirror that. And then, so then when you select rationale, blah, blah, go to strategy, if there's a bolded word, there needs to be strategic word pointed out as a strategy in the strategy.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense now.
So
Yep.
then if we were to look at the list of strategic words, which is it's on page 4.
Yep. Best, early, late, effective, essential.
Right. So if on the other hand, you're seeing, let's say, the word essential, but it's not bolded and it's not called out in the strategy, that would be something to report.
Okay.
Because we want to do that. And sometimes those are things that can be missed sometimes.
This is a great question that you pulled up, Angie, because it's got a lab value in it.
Okay, yes. Let me.
And in our labs, Karen, we always have the lab, which is 70 milligrams per DL, which is the American lab. But then you'll always, and if you don't, you can document this. There'll always be something in parentheses. You'll see 3.9 mmol/L.
Okay.
That's the Canadian value, because since this book is also sold in Canada, we have to have the Canadian measurements in there.
Okay.
So you would always see that. And then if you jump down, you can show her the lab sheet, Angie.
Is it popping up for you guys?
Yep,
Yeah.
it's opening.
Yes.
Okay. And I think that was glucose 70 mg. So if you slid down, you would find glucose. We have a lot of labs, not all, but a lot of labs on this lab sheet. You'll see the normal is 70 to 99, and it gives the values there. So if you ever needed to reference this, that lab sheet's there for you.
It accompanies every question.
Should be there for every question.
The lab sheet accompanies every question.
Yes.
Okay.
See at the bottom, you see labs there. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
All right, so that's the strategy, and then reference. With this book, we've got references, which Diane is the one who looks up at all the references for all these 6,000 plus questions. And So
But
if
I think it's gonna be a full reference now, right, Linda?
Well, Angie, I told Diane to paste in full references, and the reason I did that was because Heather wanted full references for our Evolve site for the NGN book. And
yeah,
I'm thinking the reason why is because there's no reference list on Evolve.
sure. Okay.
The book,
So it's just abbreviated books for the print, or excuse me, abbreviated references for the print then.
yeah, but I'm thinking all those questions in print are going to end up on Evolve. And so they need the full reference.
Right, right.
So I told Diane to paste in the full reference and then let the company do what they want.
Yeah, let's see what they want to do. And then maybe an easy fix could be, depending on what happens, could they not add a reference list to Evolve if we needed to?
That was my thought too. I think that would be a great idea. So I'll paste in the full reference, Diane. In the meantime, I'll make a note and I can write to Heather about that.
Okay, great, good. So we don't know yet then how we want it to appear, if it's going to be the abbreviated version or the full. So we'll just have to wait and see on that.
Okay, yeah.
But then other things with regard to the references, that page number needs to be there. Like this is the page number here, Karen. And if there's more than one, they should be in ABC order. And then it shouldn't be older than 2018.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, is the nuts and bolts, I would say.
I think too, getting into it and doing some will make it so much easier for you.
Yes.
Is that less anxiety provoking now that we've gone through that, or is it worse?
No, I actually, I feel like that it definitely lessens it a little bit. It will just be a matter of me, like I said, getting more familiar with the strategic words and a few other things. I did already create an account at Evolve, but
Oh, okay, that's good.
but I'm not sure if I did that initially when we first began, and so I might have to go back and see if I did it. Will it matter if it's I think
No,
if I'm a student, or does it?
no, it's as long as you have the account, Karen, and what we can do is like okay, so for beta, you
don't need an
you
account
don't need the account for beta.
because you're just going to click into links they send us.
They're going to give us a
Okay,
link for this.
okay.
That's how you'll access. However, as you move forward and like you need to look at previous editions for things, whatever, having the Evolve account, you will need that. And then Elsevier can give access to, just like in my Evolve account, I've got access to, all these, well, under my Evolve. But you'll see there's a bunch of things. So as reference points for you for other things, not the beta, that will be helpful.
Okay. Perfect.
And then just to be thorough, so you know what all is on Evolve is there's a 75 question assessment test. We recommend that they start with this. The reason why 75 questions, that would be the minimum length exam that they might take on NCLEX. So that's why we go with 75. And then if they take this, click pre-test, they can do this. It generates a study calendar for them based off of their strengths and weaknesses. And then they can go through, study mode, which is the one that gives them rationales and strategies right away. So instant feedback. And then there's also exam mode where they can pick 10, 25, 50, or 100. And then that one, you get feedback at the end. Testlets are basically case studies, so just additional resources for them. Each has, looks like in this edition, 5 questions. I can't recall, Linda, if we changed this or not.
I think we did. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So many products.
Good to pay attention to. And for the next one, we got to turn these into, I don't remember what we did. I think we repurposed them into NGN questions, but I guess we will find out.
Yeah, when we get the beta.
Yeah. And then here's the NGN questions, which let's not do cognitive overload at this point. You'll learn that later on, I think. And then there's also audio reviews in certain areas. Go ahead. Yep.
And this is just my own curiosity. So these students use this site. Do you get feedback from their results as to help you develop down the road? Oh, student Sally missed, student X, Y, and Z, all of them missed this exact same question, everything. Do you get that feedback so that when you're doing the next edition, those are things that you go in and look at, or you just, does that make sense?
That's what, yes, it does. And you just have my wheels spinning. Faculty can use that, and it would come under history.
Oh, okay.
Now, help me out here. Is that correct? No, that's not correct. The history is for the student use. They can go back and review their history, but the student could then print the results,
Right.
email their results, send it to their faculty, who then would be the one, like, to use it for course purposes. But I mean, Karen brings up a great idea.
So does the faculty say, hey, Evolve, Elsevier, Silvestri, whoever, this question keeps getting missed by X amount of students. I think it's something that needs to be.
No.
Okay. I get.
No, we don't. But I think there's definitely that's a good idea. I like that idea.
I know.
Yeah,
I agree. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we don't get an item analysis on any of the questions at all.
Okay.
I
was just being nosy and curious. The teacher,
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
teacher in me is looking for feedback, and sometimes it's just a matter of rephrasing the question. It's the right info, it's the right question, but
Get to what it is that you're
all
actually
those stupid damn students keep missing it. So.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, Angela had asked about this years back about an item analysis kind of a thing on the questions. They, and they said they would have to pilot them all through, sending them out to schools to let them pilot test. But you know what? Let's bring that point up to Heather again.
Yeah, because I love that idea of piloting our questions. This is something I'm dealing with at UNLV, and it's driving me nuts, is especially if faculty are using this for progression for their students, is we need to make sure that it's a fair assessment. And the way to do that is to make sure that the item is measuring what it's intended to measure. And so to pilot this and to be able to say, these are validated questions, here's the process that we used, would be huge.
Yeah.
I've never thought about that before.
Even if it's just for this comp book.
I know.
The comp review, so yeah, let's bring that up to Heather again.
Okay. Thank you, Karen. That's an excellent.
Sorry, I was just being nosy, but
No, I
sounds like I just created Heather a lot more.
love.
It's going to cost the company, it might cost the company money to do it, but this is a really important book. And this is like their one, one of their number one sellers in the entire company. So, they're going to have to invest the money if they want to make sure that this stays on top.
Yeah.
And it's been on top forever, but we need to add an additional feature to keep it there. And I think that would be so fantastic to be able to, mark it and say, these are all pilot tested and analyzed and blah, blah, blah. So
yes,
we'll bring this up to Heather for the next edition.
I think that sounds good. The other thing I wanted to bring up to Heather, and that this is kind of another side note, is like, would there be a way or a resource or somebody that we could hire to map our questions to the NCLEX test plan? I know that we're based off of the NCLEX test plan. It's very clear to me, but I think if we could map it to the level of the question and identify gaps and write new items based on that, then that would be another, to be able to say that we have like to even be able to provide a blueprint somewhere in the book or as part of the front matter would be another really attractive thing to faculty, I think.
And we have the new test plan coming out in January.
Mm-hmm.
We might be able to see it before then. But it would be great if we could map it to that new test plan.
Be like you'd look at the question and then you'd look at the test plan and map it to the appropriate activity statement or statements.
I
Tedious
mean, we
work.
could have, you know, Diane or Karen do that, but that's gonna be a lot of work.
I thought about that, but then hesitated because it's a lot of work. It's time consuming, it's tedious. I think there would be some benefit too to the nursing perspective with that. So I just think if maybe Heather would have a referral, that would be a good place to start.
She might be able to get somebody to do that for
Maybe with
us.
some curriculum development experience would be ideal.
Yeah,
Be familiar with mapping and stuff like that.
okay, we definitely need to ask her about that with this new test plan coming out,
Mhm.
because then we want to know where the gaps are. So when we do the next edition,
Yes.
we're sure to address them.
We can,
And then also we'll ask her about pilot testing all the questions in the comp book.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah.
we can market
That
that.
would allow us too. And also if we see a lot of redundancies, like we could take those questions out and use them for other products. You know,
Right,
like way too many questions on heart failure or whatever. Or well, not so much on the health problem, but on the specific activity statement with the test plan. Like if there's one area that's covered too much, then we could take some questions out and put them somewhere else.
sounds good.
Okay, so
Okay, I made some notes of that.
great, okay. And then just really quick, Karen, and we're almost done with this part. Just wanted to show you in study mode. I would say this is the most interactive area.
Okay.
So client needs, this is basically the major components of the test plan is what that is. So it's weird terminology, but nurses understand this.
Okay.
Cognitive ability, this is basically the difficulty level of the question. And this looks to be oh no, it's not an ABC order. These seem to be flipped here, but applying is the lowest, then goes to analyzing and so on.
And I think they're going to be different in the beta you're going to see, because we changed them based on what they're using now. So
Yeah, the taxonomy they're using now. Content area. So this are just essentially, major, I guess, populations is the best way to describe this. So you've got like your adult health, your complex care. This is like your ICU, your foundations, health and physical assessment. This is generally how nursing curricula are organized. And so we try to make it as usable as possible, as Linda said, during nursing school. And so then if you drop down further, it goes, so adult health and then by body system within adult health. And there's just a number of different, things that again are aimed at the way that content is typically taught in a nursing program. And then further, this was based off of feedback from students who said we really need to be able to find questions not just by body system, but also by, that's not a good example, we changed that one, but also by specific health problem within that body system. So we tagged it not just by respiratory, but then also by, you're being tested on asthma, you're being tested on TB and pulmonary embolism. So there's 80 questions that are specific to those. And that's what health problem is. So when you see that in the codes, this is what it means. This is what it enables us to do. Integrated process has to do with the test plan. I don't think you need to know any more than that. Priority concepts, some programs teach in this way. So we tagged questions based off of concepts. Do we need to have lists of concepts in this, or we should be okay without that?
You mean, does Karen and Diane need the lists, or
Like
do you mean?
in the directions for the beta review, or
Um,
they just need to note that there's two?
Yeah, I think they just need to know that there's two, because they're not checking the accuracy of codes.
Okay.
But, you know, but I mean, we could send the lists of the integrated processes, the health problems,
Yeah.
the
just
concepts
everything.
to everybody if you wanted.
Yeah, because when we talk about keeping resources up to date, those are really the main ones. And so maybe just the most recent versions. Linda, you're so good about keeping those. I think Karen could throw them in the drive for us.
Do you want everybody working on the beta to have them, or I don't know if it'll be too overwhelming, or you know, because the other thing is, I was just thinking maybe, like I ran across a couple things like priority concepts in our NGN beta. Instead of the concept, it had a reference. So, but the program will pick that up. The platform will pick that up if we're missing something, or if something, because it's all drop-down menus, right? No, I'm thinking of Metis. But Metis would have picked that up, so there shouldn't be a problem.
Right. Good point. Good point.
Um,
That, ideally.
we could give them, we could, if we wanted, just that they have them as a reference.
Maybe if they want it as a reference, but we say to them that we don't expect you to check like the accuracy
Yeah.
of the codes, because ideally that would be done earlier in the publishing process.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, they see something weird, they would have something to go to look at, though. So
Yeah.
maybe it'd be good if they had it. So I
Yeah.
have the most recent, and so I can get that to all of you, and Karen can put them in the drive.
Okay, perfect. Sounds good. And then strategies, so it filters by these strategies. If they want to, practice applying a specific test taking strategy, they can do it that way. And then last but not least, the alternate item formats these are just like the different item types that they might get. And we really want them to be able to filter in this way, in particular, because majority of NCLEX, not majority, but a good number of questions are multiple response questions, which are the select all that apply, which are the really difficult ones to answer. So we want them to have the option to filter by that in particular, as well as, other types that they might encounter. So from a user perspective, I would say that's kind of the gist.
Okay.
This is the first
Can
one.
I ask a question on that multiple response?
Mhm.
Yes,
Some of the questions, could every answer be checked?
yes.
It can. It can.
So do you have to make a point in the directions on that or not?
We could add that to the directions just so people know and they don't wonder. And Katie's going to be doing all the multiple responses too.
Yes.
So, but that's a good point. I will make a note. These beta, the beta directions can't be finalized till we actually get the beta platform and see what it looks like. And so as soon as we get that, I'll go in and I'll look, update the guidelines based on that, and
Yeah.
go from
That's
there.
something new, right? That's something new that they're doing now.
Yeah, past couple of years, basically, more recently, they're saying that a multiple response could have only one correct answer, or all could be correct, or anywhere in between.
Okay.
That's a good point. I'll add that to the guidelines.
Okay.
Yeah, good idea. Other questions?
I'm just referencing a book that's in front of me that looks like it's the exact same 8th edition
Mhm.
art. And so basically what I'm looking at on the screen is same thing, for example, of page 51 of the actual text book. Is this correct?
I've
Like,
got it
so
right here.
I wish my camera worked. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I've got the book right here.
So
You said which page is it
I
on?
I was just trying to compare and learn. I just turned to page 51. It says answers. It gives the rationale, the taking strategy, level of cognitive ability, client needs, integrated process, content. It's all right there.
Got you. So you're talking about the answers section in the book?
Yes.
Yes. So yes, so the evolve resources here are associated with the orange book, right? So when they buy the orange book, they get everything that's in the book, plus
Yeah.
then they have scratch off, right? Yeah. See,
Yes.
the scratch off is
Yeah.
then what gives
Yeah.
them the code to access this. And so all of the questions that you see at the end of the chapters in the book do also appear on Evolve. It doesn't tell you which ones they are, but they are on there. And then yes, all the codes that you see in print in this edition are the same as on Evolve, but to confuse things, a change that we made was we removed the codes from the print because the utility of the codes is for the electronic platform, not having anything to do with the print, so that they can filter the questions in that way. So it's not like the students get nothing from looking at the codes in the print.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So
Okay.
with the new edition, like when you see the print version of it, which I'm sure we'll send one to you, but that part's already done, but there's no codes in the print version.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions on that?
No, I don't.
Linda, anything else?
No, I'm thinking the other priority project is the RNQ&A. However, Karen can't start working on that really until she gets the books.
Okay.
And I don't know if we should just get through this month and get the beta done. And as soon as Karen gets those books, we meet again to go over the RNQ&A and what needs to be done with that, because there's so many things to all these products. I don't want to overwhelm her, and
I agree.
there's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
So
let her focus on the beta this month.
let's focus on the beta this month. And Karen, when you receive your books,
Okay.
you let us know,
Okay.
and we'll all meet again and get you going on the RNQ&A to
Can I
help
make
Diane with that.
Can I make a request because of my schedule and how it fills up? Can we get that meeting on the calendar like now?
Of course. Does that work, Diane?
Fine, I'm available Saturdays, Sundays, anytime, so even if that works too, I mean, I don't know how it'll work with Karen, but whatever you need, just let me know.
When are we thinking, like in another month?
What do you think that Karen will probably get those books? How about like the end of July sometime?
It's those books, sometimes they don't all come together, you don't get them at once, and then I think I requested some pharmacy books too, some new
Oh yeah,
ones.
those should be coming for you, Diane.
Yeah, and
We asked for those too.
yeah, so any,
So go ahead, Karen.
Well, we had mentioned briefly in the email that at some point toward the end of July, that Angie and that I would make a family / work visits to the Sin City
Yeah.
to kind of work on Google Drive together with Linda to make sure she understands that we're all on the same page as far as Google Drive. And we'd kind of thrown out a few tentative dates at the end of July. Would we like to try to do it at that time?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my calendar.
that's
Okay.
what I.
Yeah, sounds good.
Karen, do you have those dates in front of you?
Your calendar in front of you? I do.
Yeah, or the dates that we threw out?
Yes, give me
It
one
was a
second.
weekend, if I recall.
Yes, it says July 13th is an oncology day. And July 26th, and this is Linda, has a meeting with Elsevier. Not sure what time. Other than that,
10 to 2.
she was
10
available.
to 2.
Oh, that's a long one.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably is sometime between 10 and 2. That's probably what that means.
Okay.
16, 13, 16. So
I think if we're gonna do like in person for the three of us and we're gonna Zoom Diane in, we should go for a weekend. So that way,
okay, yeah, that works good, great for me.
Hey,
Fine, let me know.
okay,
How about does the 23rd or the 30th work for anyone?
that
I'm
works.
free.
both work for me.
Both work for you, Angie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
Me too, so.
So Karen, it's up to you and when you wanna get here, and then I'll just say we can always be flexible if something comes up. I think we can accomplish it remotely too.
Well,
But
Cowabunga is on the calendar for the 23rd, so I'm kind of leaning toward that weekend so I can have the family / work. I can go to Cowabunga and then we can do whatever.
oh, we've got Cowabunga that day.
So
So then we want to do it, can we do it on Sunday, the 24th?
yeah, the 24th, that's why I said, or we could do it the following weekend if you didn't want to interfere with Cowabunga, Angie.
Oh, but maybe you guys want to come to Cowabunga.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yes, I would love to do it on the 24th if we could in the morning.
Fine, I'm open.
We could call it church.
Yes.
Okay, we'll do church.
You're good, Linda, with that?
You can give
24th,
us
yeah.
your blessing.
Does that work, Diane?
The 23rd July is fine, yeah.
No, the
24th.
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 Oh, the 24th, I'm sorry, yeah, I just marked the 24th, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. What's a good time? Is 9 a.m. Pacific too early? Because that's, well, for you, Diane.
12 o'clock my time,
Is that
so
okay?
whatever, I don't care. 12, is that what you're?
12 for you, Linda, is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
We were hoping to come to the Lake Las Vegas house for that, but you can let us know. Yeah,
Yeah, come here.
What time did you say? I'm sorry, Angie?
9 a.m.
9 a.m.
Do we want to just, say maybe 9 to 12, and if it ends early, then that's good and we can swim.
Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't want to overwhelm Karen with all of the products. And I think, after she does a beta review, she's going to have a pretty good feel
Mhm.
of things, and it will be easier to talk about. Maybe that day we can really
Great.
get into the Q&A.
Okay, great. I'm gonna just,
Can I just ask one question?
yeah.
On the references, is there a guideline? Is there a time when you want these? I was gonna write out some guidelines on them. Is there a time you want them at the next meeting on the 24th?
Yeah, the 24th would be great if you could have any directions or guidelines for Karen. That would be awesome.
Okay, so have them ready for that meeting.
Okay,
Perfect.
Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah,
that
that's
sounds great.
awesome.
You should have the books by then, hopefully.
Yeah, I would think so.
Have some of them at least.
If we don't have them by, say, the 11th, 13th, that week there of July, we'll get on Heather.
Yeah, because don't they come out from another place now?
Yes,
I think it's a warehouse somewhere. I think it was Maryland or something like that.
yes.
Yeah.
She's already put the request in, so let's hope.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We'll be on her because they want this product in, so can't do it without the books.
Yeah, and let's see what books she does have, and maybe we can work around some of the questions with that. So
That's true. If she gets all the farm books, we can put her on farm questions or something.
right. That's a
Oh,
be a
that's
big
smart. That's a good.
yeah, or maternity or pediatrics.
Whatever.
Those
That's a
are
good idea.
the best 3 to start out on, I think,
Yeah, you would know best. I have no idea. I'm so thankful for you with that.
Yeah, so that would probably be the best. So,
Okay.
Sounds great.
okay.
So then as far as like the rest of the timeline, I think it's best, let me know what you all think, to reevaluate month by month and see what we want the priorities to be.
I think that's an excellent idea.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm gonna update this job description. I'll send it out to all of you. I'm gonna put the date. And so just maybe what I'll do is highlight the areas that like are to come, basically like the months to come. So we know that these aren't actually the things that she's gonna be doing, but we're gonna revisit. Does that work?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Awesome.
Thanks for doing that, Angie.
Oh, absolutely. No, this is, we're getting a process that I think is going to just be so efficient in the next couple of years.
Years, how about months? How about
I just, well, I
let's
mean,
be positive?
I know,
Right?
I think positive yet realistic, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Karen's gonna just get in there and go to town, right, Karen?
Yes,
Yeah.
bet.
that is the way to learn it best, is by doing. So,
Just jumping in, yeah.
Right, and just ask questions, that's it.
all right.
Ask
So,
Linda, I ask a million questions, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I'd rather have you ask the questions and get it right, at the start than
Right, exactly.
definitely.
awesome, awesome, awesome. Anything else before we move on to the next?
Mhm.
Guys are good. The next one I had was just logistics for Heather, because Karen doesn't have a Metis login yet, which Linda, do you mind to go over like what Metis, like can you describe Metis? You'd be really good at that.
Yeah, well, Metis is, let's say, Metis is the step before everything goes into evolve to come to us in a beta. So Metis, can you open it up, Angie?
Oh, good idea. Yes.
Yeah,
Let me do
you'll be working in Metis
Okay.
for most of the questions, unless they're book chapter questions. You're going to be working in Metis with Diane to do references, to look at the questions. So it's the step before a final process. Actually, you'll work in Metis, and depending on the workflow, your work is going to get sent to either Eileen and Allie, or it will get sent right to Angie and myself for our final look. So let's actually open the RN Q&A 9, since that is actually what Karen will be working on. Oh, you won't have any in there because they haven't come to us yet.
right.
Do you have access to Diane's Metis by any chance?
I can, if he knows the login information, I can log in.
Diane's login information. Diane, do you remember that? Remember we tried getting in? We just did it the other day. What was that password?
They have
It's under
a-
Elodia A257.
Wait a minute, I'm doing what Larry said, putting all my passwords. So I had them all over on pieces of paper.
Oh yeah, it was,
Now I
I was
got
like,
files.
what is this? I'm like, you got pieces of paper all over the place.
Because
A25,
the kid came and changed all my passwords.
yeah.
Now it's my $50 thing that, Okay.
It's at Comcast.net, right?
Yeah,
Yep, that's it.
Okay,
let me see.
just take your time while you're looking for that. So Karen,
Okay.
Metis is used for, it's basically an editing tool for the practice questions. We don't use it for any like of the chapters. but we use it for all of our practice questions to make revisions to them. And then what happens is from Metis, it's taken and then it goes into that Evolve site that you saw. So this is basically just the editing tool that is used before it gets to that
Metis,
data.
Metis is editing, and then from Metis it goes to the beta review and Evolve.
Yes.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
She's quick, isn't she?
Still looking.
Diane, it was that weird thing of, weird words, how they set that up. Hand, remember that?
Shout End Camp Way.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
those weird things. I
Weird.
wonder, let me go into my Metis because I might have it there.
While you guys are doing that, I'm gonna run to the restroom.
Okay, and I'm gonna see if I can get into my Metis. I don't know how to, I think I have to minimize everything here. Let me
You
see.
can hit escape on your computer, it'll minimize it for you.
Okay, all right, got it.
You got it?
Yep, I'm looking. No, I don't have it yet. I minimized. I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Found it.
Oh, you did?
I found, well, let me see. I got everybody else's except mine because I didn't need mine, I don't think.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh, I think I have it. Wait a second. I have it in a file, I think.
I have Eileen, Ally, yours, Katie, Angie's, but I don't have mine.
I have it.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Part camera hold 30. So stupid they gave us these things.
So you're putting it in?
And you'll need to put it in.
Okay.
Let's see, let me go
Have
back.
everybody else's button.
You might want to put that in your file, Diane. Part camera, what did I say? Part camera hold 30.
Part camera hold 30.
Yeah.
Is it the number 30 or spelled out 30?
Spelled out 30.
I'm here.
Okay, I found it.
Oh, good. What you got?
Part, P-A-R-T. Camera,
Uh-huh.
hold, H-O-L-D.
Uh-huh.
30 spelled out, T-H-I-R-T-Y. There you go.
So we're gonna go RN Q&A 9th.
There they are.
So, okay, so 4,419. Are these are all of them, right?
The not the book questions, just the Evolve ones, yeah. But
Okay.
the book questions will end up on Evolve beta, but they're not here in Metis. They all have to be edited by the chapters, which Diane's working on now.
Okay.
And so when Karen gets her books, we'll put her into Metis. It'll be easier for her just to go right into Metis.
Excellent.
You'll love Medicare, Karen. It's a lot of fun.
Okay. I'll
It
take
is.
I'm serious. You'll like it. Linda even
Okay.
told me when I first started. I love it now.
Good. So if you go to a question, you can see, you'll recognize this now that you've seen the Evolve. It's set up in the same way. So on this left side, they do have a training. I think we could ask Heather to send that, at some point, and Karen could kind of look through that.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to make a note of that.
Great. But on the left side, it just shows the question. And then if you wanted to edit it, like you'd go in and make the edits there and it will show up over here. So yeah, and it's got, as Linda was saying before, like the drop downs for all the codes. They're just a drop down that you just click on. Or in this one, oh no, it's a drop down too, actually. Just looks
Yep,
different.
they're all drop downs, so it's nice. And you won't have to be doing any of that kind of stuff. You're just being, well, when you get your books, we'll show you what you need to do.
Okay.
But
Has to do with
everything on the left is like the final piece. And if you want to make any changes, you do them on the right.
Okay.
Right.
And there is a discussion tab, you can put like notes in. Like let's say you wanted me and Linda to look at something, confirm something, you could just put a note there, hit post, and then when it comes to us, we'll see that.
Right.
Okay.
So anyway, so this is Metis. And so Heather had some questions. I'm going to stop share about, I got to find that email from her. She had some questions about workflow before they can set up her Metis account.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find those. Karen Home Metis. So she wanted to know, what role do you and the authors want Karen to have and in which titles? These are hard questions.
Oh, I know. All titles. This is easy, Angie.
Okay, it's easy.
All titles. And we want her in the same position, workflow position that Diane is in. Very easy. Because they're going to be both working together. We don't want questions split because Karen is going to be doing like 10 hours on this and then 10 hours with the other roles she has, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So we don't want questions split. We want them both to have access and then they can work out which batches they're going to work on. Like, Diane may say, I'll work on 1400 to 1600. You start with 1601 or whatever.
Got it.
Will that work, Diane?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, so when I go in, I'm not gonna be skipping numbers. We're just gonna go right along. Karen's gonna go right along and then I'll go right along. But we'll just have to decide which numbers we're gonna take.
Correct.
Not gonna be like it was before.
Yeah, you'll start with like 14. I don't know what that first question was. We'll say 1400. And you're going to say, Karen, you start with 1700.
All right. Okay.
When I get to 1700, I'm going to see where you are. And then we'll decide on the next batch.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. That's fine. Because before, well, it's, when you go and you hit next, it doesn't say it's 1400. Then 1406 might come out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not gonna be.
I believe that they're in chronological order though, aren't they? They're not like 1450 and then 6001. They go kind of in.
Sometimes they're not, but.
Oh, okay.
Most
So
of the time,
I think we can come up with a number. We can look at the pages. I can help you with this to get started.
Okay.
We'll look at the pages in Metis.
Okay.
And we'll come up with a number that you would start where Karen would, there you would stop where Karen would start. Yeah. So,
Chronological order this time it appears to be.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Well,
Very helpful.
that's
really.
good.
All right. We'll see. It goes one. Oh, okay. Maybe you were going.
So
fast.
yeah, I'm on page 3. If you look at page 1.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why I missed it. Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
All right, that's good. Okay, so when Karen gets her books and you get those books, when Karen gets her books, we'll come back to Metis. We'll figure out, we can probably do that at the end of the July. And where you would start, where Karen would start. And then when you get to Karen's point, you guys can collaborate again and pick up another batch.
Okay. Now you want us to document the numbers as we do them, so in case we have to go back in there for anything or like.
We had to do it before. I I forget the exact reason why, but I don't think we should have to do that this time, Linda, because we did that because I just needed to know basically where to pick up on. But since we're just focusing on references and not like gender terms.
Well, they will be doing that too.
Oh, they are. Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we did that numbers so that you guys like would be able to know how far we got, and then you would go in at night because you would have to get them to
Yeah,
the
because
company.
we were working at the same time under the same account.
Yes.
But we won't need, that was a crunch thing. With this, we shouldn't need to do that. You should be, because you'll just send them to us and then we'll know because they're in our account that they're ready for us.
Actually, I
Okay.
think they're gonna all go to Eileen and Ally, and then they're gonna do their
Okay.
thing.
Good.
And then, yeah, so I
Alright.
think we'll be all right. You probably don't have to document numbers.
Okay.
Karen may want to document, or we're gonna know what batches she's in. So she may not want to push send if she wants us to take a look at them.
Okay.
To make sure she's, comfortable with everything.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and so those are good points that you brought up, and maybe just make a note, and we can talk about those on the 24th. When Karen gets started on the
I
notice.
agree with what you're saying, but would it be easier, like if I sent you an email, then you could just go in and pop the questions I did? I mean, I don't know what you're getting on your end, so that's the only reason why I asked.
Well, if you're doing like 1400 to 1700 and Karen's starting at 1701, Diane, you're so proficient at this that you can push and send them right off to Eileen and Ally. But Karen may not want to until we just take a quick look, make sure she's okay and
Yeah.
doesn't have any questions.
Yeah, I'll probably need some double checking.
Yeah, so we can double check maybe her first, maybe 100 questions. Even you can do that, Diane. So we probably don't need the numbers documented this time.
Yeah.
Can you give us, like last time, an average of how many you want per day to finish on the timeline?
Hmm.
Know what I'm saying? How
Yeah.
many you want done a day, depending on how many days are you looking at? 7 days, 5 days? How
Maybe
many
we
you
should-
want it?
Well, I can tell you the whole book is due July 1st.
Which doesn't have
On the
anything to do
Metis?
with, that doesn't have anything to do with Metis though, does it? Because
No,
we're talking about book chapters. Yeah.
yes, we will do that. Yeah. And, Karen will be just starting, so we don't want to give
No,
her
no,
a certain number, but for you, yes, we will.
Yeah, because that way there I can, because
Pace.
I don't want to miss the timelines, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Because
I'm gonna
last
make a
time-
note of that for you, Diane.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Karen, I love that. Look, she already put this in here.
She's so good, huh?
How do
Yeah.
I not have this in our calendar, Linda? I've been missing things.
The RN Q&A, I don't know.
Right?
Oh, look at October 1st. We'll say,
Look, I have
Um,
book due November 1st. This is what was normally communicated to us, and I feel like they just
oh
But-
no, see where it says up there, transmit 50% October 1st?
that's evolve. That's evolve.
Yeah, so that would be,
Metis.
that's Metis.
Mm-hmm. But look, I've
Yeah.
got on November 1, I have the book is due.
Oh, then why do they need that July 1st?
I think somebody who put it into Metis put in the wrong date.
Okay, so I'm gonna,
This is based off of our meetings with Heather.
okay, so it says the book's due November 1st.
Yes.
Okay, so I will write to Heather if you'd like me to. And I
Sure.
will, because we're gonna get all red marks on July 1st.
I know it's gonna.
Everything's gonna turn red like we're bad.
I know. They need to fix it.
Okay, so I got that, I know.
So, Diane, maybe this helps then because October 1st, they want 50% of those done.
Okay.
And then November 1st, 75%, and then by December 1st, 100%.
Okay. The only reason why I'm asking for the average on each day is because keep the work flowing to
Totally.
Eileen and Ally, and then back to you, and I don't know.
We need to build this workflow out.
I don't
Yeah.
know, I don't know how they work. Do they work every other day? Do they work every day? Do they, I mean.
They always
I'm
meet the
really
deadlines.
fair, But I
They
don't.
always meet the deadlines,
All
so,
right, okay.
yeah.
Just
But
so
we,
that
but you're right, though, we need to give them deadlines because these are mine and Linda's deadlines. So
right.
they need to get through them. And then you guys need to get through them.
I mean, I don't want them to look on their thing and say, oh, Diane didn't send me any work. So, but I want to keep the flow going. That's
Yeah,
the reason why I'm asking. I don't mean to be a pain.
This not at all. This is something that I think eventually Karen can help us working backwards from dates.
yes.
You know, give you guys your due dates, give Ally, Eileen their due dates. But maybe for
Yes.
this one we should. Is this something we can determine in July, or do we need to know this now?
Well, I do know that, Eileen and Ally are working on the strategies book. They're gonna have that done, by July 16th, she told me. No, earlier than that. She's gonna have the strategies book done by July 6th.
Okay.
'Cause I
And
went
then
through that a lot.
they're going to Europe,
Oh,
to Paris and London. They're going to Paris and London. And then they'll be back on the 16th. And, then, you need time to get your act together. And then they're going to be starting on the Q&A. So with that in mind, we probably need them. Well, maybe we can, whatever Diane has done for chapters, we can send off to Ally and Eileen. And as
Okay,
far as Metis, we can talk about that July 24th.
okay, that sounds great.
Yeah, so start with the chapters. That's good. So here, I'm just going to put a note here in our meeting. Diane to start with chapters, send to Ally and Eileen.
And work up reference directions.
Diane to develop reference directions and bring to meeting. And then on this day, we're going to determine workflow for Metis for determine deadlines for Karen, Diane, then Ally, Eileen, and then and Linda, Angela, which are the ones that are already in the calendar.
Right.
That's great.
The only other thing, if you want to put on there under references about we do use some websites. And the ones that we use a lot would, is the Heart for the Heart Association. I have that. I'll add that to my list.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that too.
Yeah.
And any notes you can make about that and the directions, Diane, would be great.
Yeah, I already started a list, but I figure while I'm working, I can just keep adding so I don't forget things.
Great.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's really helpful.
Yeah.
What a team we are.
Yeah.
And I love to work this way because what I find is that if we put down, like, we know these things need to happen, but we know it's going to happen and when, so now we can forget about it. Except, you've got some work to do now, but
Katie is fantastic on those websites.
Katie is?
Yeah, when I was going, I had to review some of her Metis things and put updated reference. Boy, she had them all right to a T. She knew just what
so
put.
good.
Yeah, I mean, she can always add her 2 cents into that because she really had them right there and they're all perfect. So
Okay, well, if you wanted her to take a look at, if you put some guidelines together and you wanted her
Yeah.
perspective, I'm sure she'll. look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah, I mean, I went in there because she didn't have all the updated books, I guess, and I reviewed what she put
Right.
update, but the websites she had were fantastic.
Oh,
So,
good. That's great.
yeah,
She does such perfect work.
yeah, they were like top notch. So I even said to Linda, boy, she really, and then we have to make a list for the company of all the websites we use.
Mm-hmm.
So I was putting them in and I said, oh my God, these are great. So
And you didn't have to change anything. That's good.
the only thing I had to change was an updated reference because I don't
Of
think
the
she
books,
had
yeah.
all the books, but
That was probably my fault too.
no, but the other things were perfect,
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the books would be too if I think I probably told her to use her ebooks. Not that's an issue with the fact that
Yeah.
they give us access to the updated ones
The only trouble with that is the page numbers are different. So
Right.
I
you're
didn't
not putting in the right page numbers.
I
you
did
know.
not know that. I didn't.
Yes, they're different in the ebooks.
The
Huh.
page numbers are different, so you can't, I don't know what, because
No.
I don't have access to all, it would be really hard for me to do references that way,
I can understand that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd rather go with the books, plus I can get more up-to-date changes on that too,
Yeah.
like varicose veins, you had a big surgery, now they do laser stuff, so that had a change in the question, so
Yes.
they would give you more up-to-date stuff, plus a lot more pictures and things,
Right. It's just better. Yeah.
so,
It's better for you to be able to tell us like, okay, this question needs work.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
No, you need to change this, or the med is no longer used, or it's discontinued, or it should only be not used in older adults, things like that. So,
Yeah. The nuances. Those are the nuances.
Karen,
Yeah.
don't be overwhelmed. We're gonna just take you because you're probably like, what the hell are they talking about?
I know.
Don't be overwhelmed. We're gonna take you through this step by step, product by product. So you're gonna learn everything, okay?
Okay, thank you.
yeah, you'll do fine, Jill. Once you start doing it, it's just like riding a bike,
Yeah, it's gonna be easy.
Yeah.
It
it's
doesn't
fine.
sound it, but it is. You'll
Okay.
be okay. We'll make
Okay.
sure.
I just
Yeah.
wanted to, I'm in the wrong one. That's why. Here we go. Linda, could you just take a quick peek at this and then we can move on to our last thing
Okay,
right here. This is the email I'm going to send back.
okay.
Here's her questions here, and then there's my response.
Okay, so what role do you and the authors want Karen to have and in which titles? We would like Karen to have access to all five titles, and she will be in the same role as Diane is.
Yeah.
Does she need to be in the workflow? Yes, she needs to be in the same workflow as Diane. Is she taking over for someone else currently in the workflow? No, she is not taking over for someone else, but we're working collaboratively with Diane, so they both need access to the same questions. That's perfect response. What tasks do you want her to be able to do in which titles? We want her to have the same access functions, put /editing as Diane. Yeah. Now they're going to probably come back because you know how they are, saying, well, we aren't able to give them the same question batches, blah, blah. You know how like they like to split things between you and I?
Yeah, it's annoying.
But we're going to go, yes, and we're going to go back and say, no, they need, Karen is also in training. They need to be in the same positions.
Yes. Okay. Sounds
So we're
good.
just going to go back and say no, because we'll say, well, they can't really do that. Yes, they can do it. They've
Right.
done it for us. So
Yeah, they have done it. It
yes,
must be like more difficult or tedious or something on their end, but they've been able
yes,
to make it work.
that's what it is. It's more difficult and tedious on their end, but they need to do some work here.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, I'm gonna hit send. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's great.
Okay. All right, good. We can check that one off the list. So then the last thing we wanted to just show you, and Karen, if you'd like me to share it, I can, or if you want to share it, either.
I can share it. I do know how to do that. That whatever's easiest for you.
Yeah, go ahead. If you want to share, just want to show
Um,
you. I'll let you take the lead.
Okay, gee, thanks. But
Welcome.
before I do that, Angie,
Yes.
I noticed you had just updated, let's see, sorry, I want to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. The project coordinator timeline,
Yes,
and you had created that in Word.
I did.
And so then when you update it, if you don't, the problem with Word, remember, is then I got to reload it every single time.
Yes. You're right.
So some of the stuff as far as nurse prep might be easier if we start using just a Google Doc all the time.
Okay. You
But
got it.
I'll kind of show you why. So am I sharing my screen with you since my
Yep.
awesome. So this is what Google Drive looks like. The great thing about Google Drive is that you are able to, hold on one second, let me get rid of this so I can see what I'm doing. I apologize. Able to share any and all of this with whomever you would like. Since you all, well, Linda will soon get a new Gmail account, but
Yes.
you can see I have already created a folder for Angie, for Diane, for myself, for Linda, and then some of the things that we've been working on. And then I'm able to, if you were to open up a folder, there are some subfolders underneath based on what Angie and Linda's needs are and where they want things filed so that they can go back and look at work or what they're actually working on. So right now I'm only sharing it with Angie. However, you can see I could add Linda. Once you create your new Gmail account, we will add you, and then we can add Diane. And then when that takes place, then for example, here are the directions that Linda had shared with us coming up here shortly, maybe. And then once everyone has been, excuse me, once we have shared this file with everyone, then Diane could even go in and add her comments and notes off to the side like this, and make any changes, edits, and then we are able to see exactly who did what and when. The nice thing about Google is it does save everything for you. And so it will give you a version history. So for example, I go in and delete some of Angie's work. I could go back, and every time that this particular document is opened, it will tag that, so to speak, and we can go back to a version in June, because everything from June, July, we screwed up on, it will take you right back to that version. So just one of those
I didn't know
perks
that. That's nice.
that you could see. So as far as the drive, Angie and I actually just shared this one. I'm just have her email and her login, and I put everything in here. So Diane, if there's anything that you specifically want saved to this drive, you just need to email it to me. And that's kind of my job, is to take it. And, you know, right now you don't have anything in your file, but, you know, if there's some notes or something that, you know, oh, I need this saved, I don't know where to save it, and you know it has to do with this stuff, just email it to me. And that's kind of part of my job description, is to organize all of this for you. Linda, you actually emailed me a few things, I believe. Query revisions, was that you? Or yes. So you can see here that I had saved those images that you had sent.
Oh, good, good. Yeah, that's really good, because especially when we're updating products, we have these queries, we'll have them all in one spot and we know what to make changes on.
Right.
So do you have to actually file save, or does it automatically save?
That's the great thing about Google, is it automatically saves.
Great.
It'll tell you that at the top. So if you make a change, I don't know if you want to show them that, Karen.
Yeah, let's see if we can find one here. That's a screenshot. Want to have a little bit. I mean, like you'll notice here, we did phase 1 and it was by chapters. And so right there, you can kind of see
Right.
the last time that it was worked on was 6/11/22.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. And you know, it's a great thing, but sometimes it can complicate it a little bit because you can end up having so many subfolders. So for example, sorry, let's go to phase 2. So, you know, we have the main drive, we have NGN beta round 2, phase 2. Now we have the foundations of UF. And if you wanted unfolding, excuse me, you wanted to add something else under this particular folder, we totally could. So it can get complicated in that we get too many subfolders. So it does become important to make sure, you know, we have the folders labeled correctly and clearly so that everyone knows what
what's
exactly,
in it?
yeah, what's in it. But it is very easy for me to move things around, to delete things. And, you know, again, that's my job. So please feel free to say, I want a new folder created and I want it labeled this, and I want this put in that particular folder. It's rather easy to do. And so this particular file, sorry, this was one of my June jobs. So when I went to Elsevier, I believe it was, MSF, I'm sorry, that's right. And we downloaded all of the chapters from the RN Comp, the 9th edition. So they are all right here. The chapters are all right here. I guess you guys wanted those so that then when you complete the PN Comp and you work on those. So they've been copied here. So this was one of those questions that I asked Angie. Right now, do we leave these, you can see it's a copy of the RN. But as you start to work on these, if we want to change the title, if you want to just call it what the chapter is, isn't that what we talked about, Angie?
It is, and what we said was we'll leave it as a copy for now because until we confirm the TOC for PN Comp, the table of contents, then we'll know how to name them, right?
Actually, we did that, Angie.
Oh, we
And
did.
the TOC for the PN, so this will make it easy for Karen. The TOC for the PN Comp is going to be exactly the same as the RN.
Perfect.
So now if I wanted to go in and work on chapter 1 for the PN Comp,
Okay.
I would take the RN.
It's
chapter
already
1.
there. Yep,
You-
it's already there. That's what she.
Sorry, that's what I did. That's why you won't have to go and copy anything. You can just go into the
Oh,
PN Comp.
it's already there.
It's there.
And I
Yeah,
go in and work on that.
correct.
And then once I'm done with it and I want to upload it to EMSS,
Okay.
do I download it? Save it? How do I
think
get
that's
it
what
to?
we'll have to do because EMSS doesn't interface with Google.
Okay,
So a couple options I would say, Karen, can you open chapter 1 in a Google Doc? So the advantage of doing the work in the Google Doc itself is that any of us at any time can go in and make edits at the same time. We could literally be working on it at the exact same time. So that's an advantage. And then once it's done, you can go to the file download and it'll download as a Word doc for you.
and how do I do that?
Karen,
Only because that was something I never could figure. So
Right.
file,
Mhm.
okay, I'm watching, yep. Oh, got it.
It really is pretty easy. And again, we can go over this again
Yes,
in July when I'm actually down there.
yes,
Because again, sometimes, as you mentioned, for me, doing it a couple times helps you remember, helps you learn, helps you understand. So,
okay.
yep.
All
Yep.
right, so that's right under file. Download is right under file and,
Yep.
okay, that makes it easy. All
Yeah.
right, so this is fantastic. You've done so much.
she has.
This is going to make the PN Comp easy.
It is because these are all up to date and yeah, she
So-
went ahead and just moved everything.
Yeah. So I went to EMSS, downloaded all of the RN Comp by chapter in
Yep.
order. As you can see here, maybe And then I actually just copied each one and moved it. That's why if you'll notice when I go to PN, it says copy because we had just copied it from the RN.
So Angie, I was just thinking,
Mhm.
these are all the RN files.
Yes.
Now, weren't they going to give us in our PN EMSS all of the RN chapters, all of the copy edited manuscript, like the final stuff?
Geez, I don't remember. Which is why, because remember when we were talking, we said, because I was gonna put Karen on this, we had agreed, let's have her go to RN Comp and pull them from there. Put them in the PN file. And we noticed that there's a couple of CEMs, like chapter 5, you can see, was in a CEM sort of format in the RN EMSS. So I don't remember that, Linda. It's very possible.
Because I think that,
But she did pull the most recent that we
Yeah,
submitted.
yes. At that time, I pulled the most recent manuscript that was.
because I think it would be easier and more up to date if we worked on the, because remember I said I wanted to work off the pages and she said, no, that would be too hard for them.
I do remember this now.
So then we asked for all of the copy edited manuscript that they sent to us and we made changes and sent back to
Let's see.
Cindy.
I'll look right now.
Look in EMSS,
If it's in here.
because I remember recently writing to, we've got so many editors or people working on our projects. I can't remember who the heck is on what. I wish we had one person like we always had before. It drives me crazy.
Maybe we need to create a table. This looks to be the case. And I
Are
am,
you in EMSS?
yeah, and it's all blue. For PN Comp 9th. So I think, but I think it's still helpful to have the files that Karen has here. And maybe Karen, what we could do is create subfolders. One of them that's manuscript or MS, and then
Okay.
another that's CEMs. And then you could pull from EMSS from PN Comp 9th edition on the drop down and just same exact thing, but then put it in CEMs per chapter.
Let me see.
They're in blue. So I think these must be the RN Comp CEMs.
I'm opening chapter 1. I'm actually in EMSS.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. These are all the RN files. So actually, these would be the ones we want to work on because they would be the most updated
Right.
with all of our changes.
So yeah, I think if we just do the subfolders within PN Comp 9th, put all of these in an manuscript folder, and then put all the ones that are in EMSS in a CEMs folder, and then we'll know because it's titled CEMs and the text is blue, right? To work off of those.
So we would work off of the, it would be called, what would it be called?
Karen, you're gonna actually want to do it in the PN Comp folder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Say that again, Linda. What was that? What was your
That would be perfect if she set up a PN Comp folder.
Mhm.
Does she have a PN Comp folder set up already?
Yeah, see it right there, PN Comp 9th.
Okay, so if she called it CEM,
Well, I think I'm gonna have her do CEM and then also manuscript, just to have the other.
so
version
what's
we do.
below that's already there is manuscript
Yes,
or no?
she can move all of these into manuscript. just
Oh,
like that,
awesome.
and then she'll pull
So So all of these right here, Angie, I need to move to manuscript.
Yes.
Okay.
And then CEM would be all the downloads from EMSS that are in the PN 9th.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
So I need to go back to EMSS and download those manuscripts.
Yes, from the product that says Saunders Comprehensive Review for the NCLEX PN Examination 9th.
You,
Okay.
and prior you did it from the RN, so this time go to the PN.
Yeah. Okay. And
Yeah.
put them under the CEM.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be fantastic because then those would be the files that are the most up to date. And those will be the ones we'll work on, Angie. And it'll be a piece of cake for us.
Perfect. Perfect. Great.
Okay.
Thank you, Karen.
Yep. I'll work on that either this evening or tomorrow morning. Are there, Diane, are there any questions? Have you ever worked with Google at all?
No, but it looks like it's pretty
It is,
easy.
it really is.
Easy, but it seems, a lot easier than other things I've worked on. So,
And if you'll notice over here, we called it the Rubik's Cube in 8th grade middle school.
Yeah,
So the Rubik's Cube, when you click on it, these are all Google products, Google apps that work together.
okay.
So, as you become, if you would choose to, more comfortable with Google, like Angie mentioned, you can, once you've created your own Gmail,
Yeah,
you can see they will all link together. So you could start creating your own calendar that
right.
yep. And your own drive if you so desire and so forth. So
Okay.
I think it'll be a learning process for us, but I think it's going to be fantastic.
No, I was thinking too, I know it's all your work, but I was thinking if you like under my name or Karen's name, if we created, the only word I can think of is a handbook for the company. So for example, like if Karen would be able to just go in there and read everything, references, things like that, like a handbook kind of thing.
Guidelines, all kinds of guidelines.
Yeah, all kinds of guidelines that,
Compiled per title. That would be
great.
something like you would do in a company. They have they have a handbook. Or they have a book that they give you when you come in. You say, read all this. They say, don't bother me. Just read all this stuff. And if you have any questions, that's what we used to do at Bay State. Oh, we get a new recruiter in. We'd say, here you go. Read this and let me know if you have any questions.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, like all your guidelines and directions that you're going to end up creating for references.
Right.
That could go in it.
Right.
These
Things
beta
like that,
things can go in it. Yeah.
We can always go back in and make changes if we have to. We wouldn't have to keep doing it over and over and over. So
I know. That always takes so much time.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that would work like that, if that would be something you're interested in. I don't.
Yes, we want to get rid of all the time suckers.
Right.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe as we're developing guidelines, we can put them in there and then eventually compile them into.
Right, exactly.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, great idea.
Well, just thinking, when I worked 10 years ago, all the stuff we used to have to do.
Yeah, right.
Linda, when
Yes.
you create your new Gmail account, if you would shoot me an email with that so that I can begin sharing all of these files in the nurse prep drive.
Yeah, I'm going to try to set that up today. And Diane, send Karen your Gmail address.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and I'll need Diane's as well. And like with anything, and you guys had already mentioned, just go in and play if you want. Right now, Diane, in the drive, there's nothing there. So
Okay.
you can just go in and, create a new doc of whatever you want, just to put it in that file so that you can move it and play with it and or create a subfolder. And if you would like me to do another Zoom with you to help you go through that stuff, I would gladly do that as well.
Okay, thank you.
It's great. This is great. Great work, Karen.
Yeah,
This is going to be this is going to make it so easy for us. And, as I'm moving along, I know I'll have questions.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But to have that PNCEM, we're going to be able to, knock those chapters out, Angie, so easily.
Yes, that's going to go smoothly. And I'm thinking within each folder for each title, we should have a subfolder called timeline. Or maybe
Yeah.
our calendars already do this for us. I don't know, but it might be helpful to have like a timeline and then in like a table format, just like what the due dates, deliverables are, from the time of publication backed up, have it in a table just as a
Oh, yes.
one-page snapshot to look at. And then also to have it in our calendars would be helpful, I think.
That would be really, really helpful to know who's doing what and when it has to be in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So maybe we start thinking about doing that, maybe with the RN Q&A, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Develop that process. Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, this was great.
Oh, it was fantastic.
was great. Yep, I agree.
A great job, Diane. Great job, Karen. The drive is going to be fantastic. You've done a lot.
Yes.
Yeah, that not a problem. I'm not very good at many things, but I can organize and color code.
Yeah.
I
That's
know
always
I
good.
love color coding.
Me too.
Yeah. So I appreciate your patience with me. Hopefully I'll pick up this stuff pretty quickly and be of
Oh,
some-
you will. It's going to take time.
Yeah.
And we're all here for you to get you there. A step at a time. That's what we're going to do because it's too
Yeah.
overwhelming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you again.
Yes, you too. Thank you. I apologize. I still don't know why my computer's not working, but hopefully that won't happen again. So
Oh.
Yeah.
Fine.
No.
Anything else, Angie?
That's all that I had on my list. I double checked your list. I think we covered everything there. And so now we just wait for that email. Oh, Karen, you'll see it on Nurse Prep.
the dreaded beta email, is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So when that
Yeah.
happens, we stop everything and do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We drop everything.
Yes.
Okay.
That's it, because that'll be a fast turnover. Because, the thing is they tell us July, but Angie, the way those people are,
It
I
ends up
wouldn't be surprised if we don't get it till August and they say we need it right back, and we're gonna really complain.
Yeah.
I've already been on Heather about July, and another week I'm gonna ask her if she knows the date.
Like, what's the update? Well, and that does bring me actually to a question with the NGN beta. I mean, we're supposed to finish this by tomorrow, and functionality wise, all of her suggestions are not working. So
Did you
I
see
don't
her
know.
most recent email and my response? Okay.
Yeah, I did. Still doesn't work. I don't know if it's my computer or what, but
It's not your computer because it doesn't work here either.
yeah.
Now I'm gonna go in the computer in the family room there, the big great room.
Mhm.
I don't have much data on there. So if I
Okay.
lose anything, I don't care. So I'll clean that cache thing she's talking about.
Yeah.
I'll try to pull it up and I'll see what happens. And, don't worry about phase 3. I can do your part this weekend. They're not going to get it until Monday.
I was thinking otherwise, could we move phase 3 to round 2 or
Well,
round
that was my point. And what I was trying to get at to her with my email. Why can't we do this in round 3? But then she came back and she seemed kind of a little bit, I don't know the word for it, but Well, I'm waiting for round 2 to be fit. I'm waiting for phase 3 to be finished to move them forward. And
But
so,
we decided to do like phase 3. It's not something that they need. It's like an intricacy of our review. So I don't get why she cares about that.
well, don't worry about it. Let me, I'll try this cachet thing. And
Good. That's been
I
on
mean,
my
there's
mind.
not that much to look at. It's an easy part.
It
It's
is. It
easy
should
to
be.
do.
It should take an hour, you know?
So I can do your part.
Okay.
So don't worry about being away. And not being able to get to that till you get back, because I can easily whip right through that.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Sounds good.
So don't worry about it. And, maybe just respond in the email, since I directed questions to you and Donna about how to move forward. And you can just say, well, I'm going to, work at it this weekend. That's it.
Okay. You got it.
Okay, and leave it as is.
Sounds good.
And I'll look at all of it for us, because it won't take long.
All right. I will respond to that as soon as we get off here.
Yeah, just say I'll work on it through the weekend. That's all.
Sounds good.
Have it for you by Tuesday. How's that?
Sounds good. Okay. I'll put that in here. Great.
Donna is babysitting that child for 7 days in a row. She has no break. She's not going to have time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no, it is when they're that little, forget it.
yeah, and I was just going to see if she responded at all. Oh yeah, here she is. I did check for some of that, and the issue I saw was only 2 test items for 2 of the concepts. All the rest had a lot, but I see what they mean. I don't know what that's about. She just doesn't have time.
She's not even paying attention.
No.
Customers being, oh, I hadn't read all of this yet.
No, I see more emails too.
Okay.
I'm going to have to take time and read this and try to
That's what I'm,
internalize it all. I'm
Yeah.
just going to keep these emails as new and come back to them later.
yeah.
But anyway, my point is, don't worry about it. I'll take care of that this week.
Okay. And I'll just respond kind of generically and say,
Yeah, just say I'll have it all to you, Linda, by Tuesday morning. That's all.
okay, got it.
They're not going to do anything. It's a holiday weekend anyway. So what the freak?
No, this
They
is
don't need this from us today. And if they did their part correctly, we wouldn't be dealing with all these
no,
issues.
we lost what, like 4 or 5 days?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
I'll take care of it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Angie,
Yes, Karen.
before you leave real quick, can I get your, because I used your EMSS to download the newest manuscript.
Sure, Karen. And I did notice, let me just show you what I noticed on EMSS was, so when I go to it, click on it, you're here. I don't know what that means. So you must have a login. Have you gotten any emails from EMSS? And
Well,
it might have been your Yahoo. I think that's what we initially gave them.
well, gosh. I don't recall seeing any of, yeah, that's weird.
Linda, should I ask Heather about that? Because she's here, but she doesn't know about a login and didn't see any emails.
Wait, okay, hold on, the only,
Yeah. Okay, so if you go into table of contents, Angie,
Mhm.
and click on Karen's name, see if anything comes up for an email. You'll see over on the right, her name listed there.
Yeah, I see that, but then I click on it and it just goes here.
doesn't give you
Is
anything.
that, it could be that Heather added me? Wasn't she supposed to add me?
Yeah, she was, but you should be prompted then with an email to create an account.
Right.
And again,
Well,
I think it would've gone
Have
to,
the Evolve count, is that the same?
no, it's a different,
Okay,
but I'll still give you my login, in the meantime. And then Linda, should I email Heather about that, do you think?
Yeah, email Heather and just tell her that Karen does not have information about setting up an EMSS account. So can you forward that information because we need her to be working on things this weekend.
Okay.
Heather's really good at getting things moving, making sure people have what they need. So she'll get right on it.
Yes, she will. Okay, I will send that email, and then Karen, I'll send you my login for EMSS.
okay, yeah.
Diane, is there anything else that you need that you can think of? You have an EMSS account already, and you're all
Yeah, I
set with
do.
Metis. I
Yeah,
don't know, do you have an Evolve account?
I don't think so, no.
Maybe you can ask her to get Diane, Angie, when you write to her about Karen's EMSS, just ask her to have Diane get set up on Evolve.
Yes, I think she needs to create an account first herself and then give Heather the username. And then from there, Heather can put whatever things on it that she needs. She could put Diane's and Karen's on there at the same time, probably once they both have usernames.
Why would I need that though? Why do I need it? For what?
Yeah,
Yeah, what do you think, Linda? It gives you access to like the Evolve resources for RN Comp. I know you don't
I
like
go
the
on
ebook.
the website for books and they're right there.
yeah, she probably doesn't really need it. And you know what?
Okay.
If she needs to go in there for anything, we could probably give her our account name.
I mean, I've never used it. I mean, if you want me to have it, fine, but if I need new books and stuff, I just go on the website, find the books that are new and when they're gonna come out and all that. I don't,
Yeah, it's just like all our products.
yeah, those are automatically come up sometimes anyways.
I
When
mean, you can like go into them and look at stuff,
Yeah,
but if you don't think you need it, you haven't needed it up to this point, so we can just wait on it.
yeah. I mean, I don't know if you want me to have it, fine, but I mean,
How does she set up an account, Angie?
You just go to evolve.elsevier.com
Oh, okay.
and then let's see, I can pull it up. Let me get rid of this. So many platforms that we have to use, huh?
Oh, I know.
Okay, so here we go.
Crazy.
So yeah, evolve.elsevier.com and then evolve
I
or
think I've been on there anyways when I have to do other projects for you.
yeah,
You've been on here?
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So do you have an
Remember?
account?
I don't think I don't know if I have an account. I've always
Okay.
gone in on yours.
Oh, all right. Okay, so maybe we could get you an account.
I mean, like if you remember that time I did that project on duplicate questions,
Here it is, create account.
I went in on there.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know.
Where did you find that, Angie? Under what?
So if you go to evolve.elsevier.com and then you click sign in.
That's where it is. Okay, we'll get one created for you, Diane.
All right, whatever. Just let me know.
Good to have, just in case.
Will I have all the access that you would have?
That's where once you create the account, we can give the username, yours and Karen's, to Heather, who then will give you access to all of the same products.
Yeah, because I remember going in on there when I had to do that project for duplicate questions, remember? And I
Yeah,
went in that way,
yeah, it might be helpful at some point.
Yeah,
Okay,
it'd be good to have. Yeah, just in case.
okay, fine, whatever you want.
Okay,
All right,
alrighty.
guys. Thank you very much. We did end early, so this is good.
My husband
Yeah.
will be happy. He's waiting to eat.
He's hungry. Time to eat. Tell him I hope he.
Quarter to 5 already, and he's oh takeout. So
That's a good sign that he's hungry, though. That's a
yeah,
good.
he's hungry.
Good. Well,
Stay on your diet. Diane's lost almost 10 pounds now.
fantastic. Keep it
Wow.
up. That's amazing.
That's great, isn't it?
It's
I'm
so
trying. Yeah, so
you're doing awesome.
She is. She's doing really good. So
I'm trying.
she's on her way down.
Yeah.
Good job. It's not easy. It's really, really hard.
I know. And she's doing really good.
That's great.
Doing
Yeah.
really, really good.
Yeah.
I eat a ton more than she eats. A ton more.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's all about choices. So that's what she's doing, making all the right choices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. I've noticed the same thing. If I'm eating certain foods, I can eat more of it and I don't gain. Yeah, you just have to stay away from like the sugar as much as you can. Karen's gonna be
Yeah,
like,
the
"Whatever."
Well, this is where I exit the conversation. With, I gotta quit sugar. It's not happening.
Karen loves her sugar. She's always bringing the kids the best snacks and they love it when she
I'm
comes.
I'm the-
you.
I'm the
I love
aunt.
sugar too. So
Well, Karen, I look forward to seeing you in July.
Yes, for sure. We will be down there and hopefully for both work and pleasure.
That
Yes.
sounds great.
They
That
just
sounds,
moved. They just moved to Idaho and
Yeah.
their house is beautiful.
is it? Have you seen it, Angie?
Pictures. We haven't gone yet, but she did invite us, so we're gonna go hopefully before the end of summer.
Yes.
So Karen, send us pictures.
Oh, I would love to. Yes, thank you. I will.
I love looking at houses. So
Okay. Well, you're
Yeah.
always, all three of you are always welcome. So
thank you. Thank
come
you.
to the land of potatoes and we'll take good care of you.
Yeah, now
Okay.
where is the town that you live in? What is it close to?
So, Twin Falls, maybe you've heard of Twin Falls?
I've heard of Twin Falls.
So we are Boise. We are about 120 miles from Boise.
I think Linda must have froze there. Oh, we lost Linda. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Well, I'll text
Okay.
her and let her know that we are done. I'll upload this recording, or maybe I'll send it to you, Karen. You can put it
Okay.
wherever it makes sense.
okay, sounds
You can do
good.
it as a YouTube link. It's easier.
Awesome.
oh, there she is.
There she is.
I know I lost everything. So where is it close to?
But maybe Boise. Have you heard of Boise?
Yes.
Yeah, we're about an hour and, well, we're about an hour and 45 minutes from Boise, east of Boise.
East. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All
So
right.
lots of farming. It's a big farming community, cows and potatoes.
That sounds
It's
wonderful.
beautiful. It's green and open and
Yep, yep.
yeah.
So,
So, all right. Well, thank you guys so very much.
Thank you.
all
Thank
right.
you,
Have a good
everybody.
holiday, everybody.
And you
Yes,
can
happy
send me your
New Year.
login.
Have fun.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Posted on
Bye,
that.
Karen. Nice
I
meeting you.
will.
You too, Diane. Thank you. And I look forward to working with you.
Same here.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.